Welcome back to Planet Crafter. Today, in our automation series, we're going to be talking about trade rockets, T2 locker storage, and T2 drones. Oh, and we can't forget about those Terra tokens. That's kind of important too. Well, we have a lot to talk about today, so let's jump into it. We're going to start with our trade rocket. The trade space rocket allows for buying and selling of items with Terra tokens. This is the in-game currency, so let's start with that. Terra tokens can be found in wrecks, sometimes in storage crates, but usually in vaults. They come in increments of 100, 500, 1,000, and 5,000. You need these Terra tokens for the blueprint microchips that you need to make the T2 locker storage and the T2 drones. The Terra tokens are also important for one of the endings in the game. We can talk about that another time. Now, the trade rocket, the T2 locker storage, and the T2 drones are not essential to your progression in this fantastic game. But it definitely makes your world a whole lot easier to do. Oh, by the way, I am in my creative world again. It's just so much easier here. All right, let's talk about this trade rocket. The trade rocket unlocks once you get to 12% of the way to breathable atmosphere stage. You'll receive a message from Riley, and here's the message on screen. Unlocking the structure. Let's start with the trade rocket, because that's where we kind of start if we want to make these. All right, we're going to get over here into the trade rocket, and as you can see, it has a 25 slot inventory. And you can fill that up with a combination of items that you can sell. You can also set the trade rocket to demand or supply. Demand is usually what works out because you kind of want to fill it up with things to sell. Over here at the bottom of the screen, you also have the ability to enable it to auto launch. And that way you don't have to keep coming back and setting it up to space. All right, let's get over here into this console here, because this is the important part right here. This is where we're going to get our blueprint microchips to make our T2 storage and our T2 drones. Inside the trade rocket console, you have all this information, and I'm going to break it down for you. We're going to start up here at the top right, where it shows you how many Terra tokens you have available to you. Then it shows you your current inventory value of 75 Terra tokens for me, as I just put in 3 pulsar quartz. And then how much you've traded over time. Now we're going to get into the information about the trade rocket. Terra tokens allow you to buy items and blueprints. Some items on your planet have a value. Insert valuable items in the rocket and send it into space. And that has to do with these items down here. And if you go over top of them, it tells you what they are and what their value is. So basically, pulsar quartz are a really high ticket item. And then the next high ticket item would be the fusion energy cell. But with how much you actually have to put into making one of those things, you're better off just sending these off. That's my opinion. Then the next thing would be your circuit boards. Again, 25 Terra tokens, and then a cookie. A random cookie. That's interesting. All right, let's get back into our information up here. After some time, the rocket will come back and you will gain Terra tokens. A round trip for the rocket takes 600 seconds, but I have a way you can shorten that, and I'll tell you that in a minute. Once you have enough Terra tokens, you can select items to purchase, which is these items over here. Send the rocket again once you've picked what you want to purchase, and it will return with the selected items. And the very last thing is you can automate the process with drones and multiple trade rockets. And then you can actually in here launch the trade rocket manually if you'd like to. Now, over on this side are all the items you can actually purchase. And I'll let you scroll through this on your own. What we're looking for is the blueprint for the T2 storage and the T2 drones. We're going to scroll down till we find that. Here it is right here. So we're going to add the T2 locker storage blueprint, and we're going to scroll down again, and we're going to find ourselves the T2 drone blueprint. And there you go. I need 17,000. I think I have enough tokens for that. And because we just asked for that, I am going to send this off and get those items. And there she goes. Up, up and away. Bye-bye. See you when you get back. Now, I did mention that we can do this a little bit faster than the 600 seconds or 10 minutes that it says you have to get your items back. And that's by using a machine optimizer. And by placing inside this optimizer, the trade rocket multiplier fuses. And you can find these multiplier fuses in the storage and vaults of Rex. And the more optimizers that you have on your trade rocket system, the faster it will return. And right now, if we go back up here, we'll check and see what it says. It's going to take only just a little over 7 minutes for it to return. Once it returns, we will get the blueprints and make what we need. And here comes the trade rocket coming in for a landing. Beautiful. All right, let's get inside and get those blueprints. All right, let's take out these blueprints and let's go over to our blueprint screen that we have over here in our luxury accommodations. And you would take them and you would open them up. And of course, I'm on controller, so I would press Y. And do it one more time. All right, let's go make us some T2 drones. We're going to go back over here to our demonstration area. And we're going to jump in here. As you can see, we have our T1 drone, and then here is your T2 drone. You need a rocket engine, a circuit board, a super alloy, and an explosive powder to make them. And as you can see at the bottom, it says a faster drone. There you go. So fast you couldn't even see it. And on the screen over here is where you're going to find your drones when they're not doing their job. Well, at least they're not hanging around just, having a coffee break. Now, over here we have our storage container. And I'm just going to show you in the construction menu, the T2 storage locker requires 2 super alloy and 1 circuit board. And inside, these T2 storage containers have 80, yes, 80 inventory slots. And you can set them up for demand and supply just like the other containers. These storage containers are the next step in our automation series. And that is right over here in the factory. And they are the auto crafters. These are making everything we need to get our world up and running to proceed in this game. Now, there's a lot of information that goes along with those auto crafters, so we're going to save that for the next video. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I missed or something that you want to know about. And remember, stay majestic and embrace the chaos. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and consider leaving a comment too. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all the chaos of the Majestical Realm. I'm MajesticKarLyn, and I'll see you in our next adventure together. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so very much for watching.